Let's get into the full narration, chapter 1156. Here we go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and yes, we've got the full narrated chapter right here. But before we dive in, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss a single update. Now let's jump straight into the content. Chapter title, Idols. Page 1. Opening note. Before the Great Pirate Era, there were idols on the seas. The chapter begins by showing a city. Narrator says, back then, clearly referring to Harold's Flashback era, around 44 years ago. We see a city that was just attacked. Someone yells, "I was captured by the pirates." But there's a weird hint of joy in that voice. Then another person says, "But why aren't you even fighting back? Bunch of useless weaklings." We see a man on the ground, completely defeated. But in his eyes, there's not fear, there's love. Passion. Angry women shout, "You were supposed to protect us. But even then we lost everything. You're all worthless." Narrator. With that level of popularity, there's no way this flashback could skip over them. Not even the Marines knew how to handle it. They were known as the Kuja pirates, from the Island of Women, a place rarely seen. Page 2. Now we see the Kuja pirates, absolutely smitten by their empress. Gloriosa says, "Even when I sleep, even when I wake up, I'm sick of looking this good. Maybe I should just strip it all off. This beauty." One Kuja pirate cries out, "Kia! Gloriosa-sama, you're so precious." I love that cute forced attitude. Another swoons. "My brain is being wrapped in light." Completely mesmerized. Another says, "Ah, my heart is filing for emotional bankruptcy." Presentation box. Empress of Amazon Lily, captain of the Kuja pirates Gloriosa, later known as Elder Neon. Page 3. A Kuja pirate arrives with a mountain of fan letters. "Lady Gloriosa, look how many fan letters you've received." Presentation box. For the girl, Tritoma, future Empress of Amazon Lily. Gloriosa says, "Tritoma," and those back there. Tritoma replies, "They're all addressed to Shaki-sama." What the hell? There's like 100 times more than mine. And I'm the captain. One Kuja pirate gasps, "Even when she's angry, she's a frozen jewel." Narrator. Yes, the true superstar, the one who even outshines Gloriosa in beauty, is the vice captain, Shakuyaku. Then we see a ship approaching. "Captain, it's an enemy ship." Gloriosa, with heart-shaped eyes, exclaims, "Ooh, that ship, that's the Roger pirates." Roger yells from the ship, "Surrender, Kuja pirates." Pages 4 and 5. Roger, wearing the straw hat, calls out, "Today's the day. Hand her over. Your vice captain Shakuyaku." Gloriosa snaps back, "That Roger, always so incorrigible, even though a woman like me loves him." Roger, ignoring her, "Seize them all." But suddenly Shaki appears, kicking open a door on Roger's ship. She says, "Who did you say you were going to steal?" Kuja pirates scream, "Kia!" They say every one of her movements drips with seduction. When she appears, flowers wilt, birds forget their songs, and people start fighting over her. Even the strongest men crumble before her beauty. Roger's pirates, there she is. "Shakuyaku. Here, take my flowers." "No, take mine, Shaki." "Oh, Gaban." "Damn it. Just hearing her say my name did this to me." Roger preparing to... "How dare you hurt Gaban like that?" But Roger gets kicked too. Roger lying on the ground. "Damn it. I love you, Shakuyaku." Shaki, lighting a cigarette. "I'm sorry, Roger." Page 6. Shaki gently lifts Roger's chin and says, "But I won't be anyone's property." As the Kuja pirates scream out in adoration, Shaki gives the order, "Take all their treasure." Roger, still on the ground with heart-shaped eyes, Gloriosa walks up and says, "But Roger, you still have me." "Get off me, Gloriosa. I can't see Shaki properly." Presentation box. Vice captain of the Kuja pirate Shaku. Then Shaki looks at Rayleigh and says, "Must be rough for you, huh, Ray-san?" Rayleigh replies, "Yeah, I'm surrounded by morons." Shaki winks at him. Rayleigh clenches his teeth. Page 7. A Kuja pirate shouts, "Gloriosa-sama, there's a navy ship approaching." Gloriosa commands, "Hurry, load the cargo, don't leave a single crumb behind." Kuja pirates respond, "Yes, ma'am." Roger, "Hey, leave us at least some food." From the marine ship, someone shouts, "It's them, the Roger pirates and the Kuja pirates." Roger's pirates, "Quick, Take pictures of them, it'll sell for a fortune. Cut it out, you idiots. Roger shouts, we need to escape too. Prepare to Shaki interrupts, Roger, that's Garp's ship. Roger panicking. What did you just say? Men, forget everything I just said. We see a split panel. Roger and Garp both shout, crush them all. Presentation boxes. Pirate Gold D. Roger, future Pirate King. Father of Ace, Vice Admiral, Navy Headquarters. Monkey D. Garp, future hero of the Marines, grandfather of Luffy. Double page spread, pages 8 and 9. We witness the brief clash between the two legends. Garp unleashes Meteor Fist. Roger uses Aramitama, meaning furious spirit or wild soul. Gloriosa and Shaki, while escaping. Of all the ships out there, it had to be Garp's. Narrator, Roger. Garp rocks. A fierce battle between young blood, which would later be remembered as legend in the Great Pirate Era, was now unfolding. Meanwhile, the popularity of the Kuja pirates was skyrocketing. They became an essential part of every conversation at the time. The idols of the most brutal men alive, their bounty posters were being traded for outrageous prices. Secret photos and fan chases became an everyday occurrence. Later, the woman who would inherit the title of Empress, Shakuyaku, would become so overwhelmingly popular that she was simply unstoppable. Kuja pirates gasp, huh, Gloriosa-sama, Gloriosa. My chest hurts. Yes, it's love. Love sickness. Shaki says, sis, pull yourself together. She calls her Nisan, like an older sister. Probably not biological, just affectionate. Kuja pirates cry out, both of them are so precious. Scene change. We go to Elbaf. Presentation box. Ida's bar giant says, the boat flipped and Loki almost drowned. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I should help him. Second giant says, that's what happens when you're not around. Loki misbehaves like crazy. Harold says, my apologies, thank you for saving him. Loki, behave yourself. Ida is scolding the giant who saved Loki. Ida says, huh? Saving him should be obvious. Harold says, no, Ida. Loki went into the sea on his own. Ida says, so what? If you had let Loki-kun drown, I'd have drowned you myself 100 times. Loki, lying on the ground. Loki says, I didn't ask you to help me. The giant says, gah, look at this brat's attitude. It makes me want to explode from anger. No mom, and a dad who's always busy. You must feel lonely, right? Loki-kun? Loki says, shut up, old hag. Ida says, aha, want to come live with us? Loki and Hydron say together, no way. Page 11. Loki says, Ida, you just act like my mom so you can live in the castle, right? You just want money, don't you? Hydron shouts, hey, Loki. Harold says, Loki, there are things you can say and things you can't. Apologize? Can't you understand how Ida's been feeling all this time? Ida says, children are so cute. Harold says, Ida, you're way too soft. Mato says, Ida's waitress, the one seen with Shanks. I don't want to, Ida-san. He said terrible things to you. I hate Loki. Ida says, you're crying for me, Mato? This world is so kind. Loki says, I'm sick of this country. Everyone here is weak, just trash. I want to be free, like Rox. Narrator says, from that day on, whenever Rox came to recruit Harold, Loki begged to board his pirate ship, but his request was never accepted. Loki says, no one's gonna miss me anyway, right? Then I'm heading out to sea. I hate all of you too. Page 12. Narrator says, a few months after the island takeover incident by the Rox pirates. Note, this refers to the takeover of Hachinosu. A pirate says, hey, who the hell are you? The mysterious person says, I want to join the Rox pirates. Pirate says, jahaha, you're free to think what you want, but you can't even get close to that guy. The mysterious person says, the Rox pirates are the true all-stars of evil on the seas. Note, all-stars written in katakana, not the same as Kaido's crew. Another pirate says, you see that fish-shaped mountain over there? They say he lives there. Another says, if you really want to meet him, just go. The deeper into the island you go, the crazier everyone gets. Good luck, jahaha. Take this. He kicks the mysterious person. Mysterious person says, guh. Another pirate says, jahaha, knock it off. Suddenly someone says, huh. The mysterious person is about to grab his face. Page 13. Pirates in shock say, what the hell? That guy is the assassin Q. Note, his name is written with the kanji shom, meaning bad luck. Translator's note, on this page, Q suddenly grows huge. Could he be a former user of Aruja's devil fruit? Unclear. The pirate being grabbed says, Ja! Presentation box, Gangster Kyo, same title as Shiki in the previous chapter, Kikdal, meaning gangster. Future silver axe. A pirate says, that's Shiki's rival. What the hell is he doing here? Another pirate says, don't go near him. He'll kill everyone. Narrator says, through rocks, the strongest just keep coming. Then, boom. Explosions erupt in the fish-shaped mountain, blasting 2 massive holes into it. Now it looks like it has eyes. Look at this view, this landscape. I knew blasting those holes would be a great idea. Right, boys? Page 14 Rocks says, there are 2 devil fruits I must acquire. One of them is probably in Elbaf, and its power will only awaken if Harold eats it. Captain John says, and we need to find the Galela, right? I always thought that was just a legend. Presentation box, Pirate. Captain John Linlin says, I've searched using my entire intel network, but I haven't found a single trace of a frozen army of giants. Presentation box, Pirate Charlotte Linlin. Future Big Mom Newgate says, even if we find them, they're probably just corpses by now. Stroyson says, you're right, they can't be brought back to life. Presentation box, Pirate Strozen. Partner of Linlin Rocks shouts, shut up, I'm talking about my dream here. Page 15. Babel says, and even if, by some absurd miracle, they were revived, there's no reason they'd obey your orders. Presentation box, Pyral Fishman, catfish species. Rock says, and that's exactly why we need the power of the current king of Elbaf, Harold. Kaido says, can't we just solve everything with brute force? Let's just beat the hell out of this Harold guy and make him obey. Pirate Kaido, future king of the beasts, Rock shouts, ha! Rox kicks Kaido in the face. Lol. Rox yells, don't you ever say that again, you bastard! Shiki or Ganzui says, hey, stop that, Rox. Kaido shouts, you'll see. Shiki, and you too, Kaido. Enough already. Shiki says, we just conquered this island and you two are already trying to wreck it to pieces? With a team like this, no matter what path we take, it'll end in disaster. Captain John says, let's wait until we stack some more loot, alright? Horned Rookie. Rock says, Harold is my friend. If you keep talking crap about him, Kaido, you'll be the first one I get rid of. Final pages, 16 and 17, double spread. A gorgeous double-page spread. Zebek makes his speech and delivers an ultimatum. Rock says, listen closely, men. Elbaf will be the key piece in the downfall of the Holy Land. If you don't believe in me, get lost now. It's entirely up to you to decide if you'll follow me until the day of destiny. But if you've already made your choice, if you walk beside me for a while, I'll show you all the very top of the world. Presentation box, Rock's Pirates. End of chapter. There will be a break next week due to Shonen Jump's magazine schedule, but we might still get early spoilers as usual. If you enjoyed the video, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. See you in the next one. Thanks!